Hello and welcome to the Amateur Football YouTube channel. And it's an absolute honor to have Hannah and Emily from Welling United Ladies. Have I got it right?
That's right. Just about.
Could you kind of talk about how Welling United Ladies was actually created?
I suppose, yeah. So we're 3 years old now. So the beginning of it, I suppose, it was middle of lockdown. I'd actually stopped playing for a few years myself, and fancied kicking a ball around again. So I got in contact with an old friend of mine. She actually works with the Girls Academy still at Welling, and said, "Look, I fancy playing football. Like, who are you playing for at the moment?" And she said, "Oh, actually, I'm potentially looking to start up a team at Welling. Do you want to get on board, basically?" So it was, me, her, and the previous manager. And it was just us three, and it went from there, really. I pulled in a load of old recruits, a load of has-beens. We managed to sum up a 11 women. And 3 years later, we're still going, and we're now a team of 30.
And can I ask why you took a break away from football?
I just started a job up London. I was mid-20s, and thought, right, this is time for me to focus on my career. I don't have time to train 3 times a week, on top of a usual, what was 8 to 7 p.m. job. It took too much toll, really. And I was riddled with injuries. So I just thought, you know what, I need a break, hang my boots up. So I think I had 3 years out and then started up again in lockdown.
Cool. And Hannah, how did you get involved in Welling?
It was through someone that I knew, that Emily knew, because the football world is quite small in the women's game. I saw it was promoted on social media, really, and I'd been out for a long time. I hadn't played for 10 years. Similar reasons to Emily. I had a full-time job, working shift work, couldn't commit to late training nights and playing every Sunday. So I took the decision to give up and work, really. So now I got into a bit of a position where I was able to commit, and I saw there was a recruitment process going on for the Welling United women's team. So I thought, why not give it one last shot? It's now or never sort of thing. So and here we are today, 3 years later.
Oh, amazing. And with the 30 footballers that you kind of have, do you have a second team? Like how does the structure work?
Yeah, I mean, that's something we're working towards for next season. It's been like a strange few years, to be honest. Like, the first year was just trying to get a squad together. And when you start up a women's football team, you have to start from the bottom, no matter the name or anything. So we had to start at that lower level, which I think we got bumped up 2 leagues from then.
That was purely on success, because I think we was almost too good for where we was at, because we were quite decent at the time. So as Emily said, we jumped up 2 leagues within a season.
And then from there, it's just, I suppose last year it was an average season for us, a big jump in the levels. We lost a few players towards the back end of last season, so we've had to rebuild this season. But a key thing for the growth of the team this year has been the new manager coming in, Keith Bonus. Obviously, he's got a reputable name, and with that comes people that want to play underneath him. So as well as our existing squad, we've had probably another 10 individuals join solely because of him and what we're trying to do at the club.
Oh, amazing. And Emily, what's been the biggest takeaway from the Euros that the Lionesses won?
Yeah, I mean, it's massive, isn't it? Even for myself, like I was lucky enough to go to Wembley in the final, and that experience was, it was something I probably won't feel again. And seeing the vast amount of people that were there at Wembley watching, and everyone you spoke to was watching it. I've never had that before, where so many different people were interested in the women's game.
Do you think we'll ever see a female manager managing a Premiership team?
Oh, there has to be, without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, yeah, there's got to be. I think you've got Mary Phillips at the moment. She's managing or was managing a team in is it Peckham sort of way, a Mal's team. And I think that's got to be the only female manager at the moment at a decent men's standard. But in terms of top level, I know Emma Hayes was talked about and her name was being bounded about, I think, for Wimbledon or something at the time, maybe a couple of years ago. So I think it's imminent.
Do you think there's like still a stigma over women playing football, especially like managing? Because of course, like everyone's seen Phil Neville managing the England team, and again, like I don't want to be that guy, but I kind of looked at it and thinking, well, that was a bit suspicious to me. But I mean, do you think there's like still that stigma, especially at the top end?
I think so.
I think there is.
Yeah.
But I do feel like this year, especially, it is changing. You see, like, you know, the amount of women presenters that you have now in football, on Sky Sports, etc. It's just a matter of time before that feeds into managerial and coaching roles as well. And you know, like the skill is no different. We're lucky enough to have UEFA A license coach Kim Dixon, who used to play at Charlton. She coaches us every Thursday, and her sessions are, you know,
better than some of the men coaches we've had.
Yeah.
Well, I think you've only got to look at the World Cup where they had female assistants in play. So that's a step in the right direction for one. But I think it's drip feeding into women into sort of men's game, and I think as time goes on, I think it will become the norm, hopefully.
Growing up, how like was it for you playing football? How like did your like peers take you playing football? Teachers, friends, etc.
Well, I went to an all-girls school for one, an all-girls Catholic school,
Wow.
and that's probably a good 18 years ago or something now. So you can imagine it wasn't a thing. I was probably one of two girls that played football in my whole school. So it was all about netball, and I'd be kicking netballs and breaking windows with netballs and getting told, one, to kick the netball around because you can't kick netballs, and two, smashing windows with netballs. It didn't go well. So it was tough. But I played at Charlton at the time in school. And that's all I wanted to do was play football. Didn't really care about school. Just wanted to play football. And then went on to a football academy. College was based around football, so I was doing sort of a football education program 5 days a week. And then it just sort of flew from there really. But then I gave up quite quickly. But growing up, I was probably like a little boy back then, so to speak, as we're talking about stigma and stuff. I played in the boys team growing up, and then joined the girls team when I was probably like 13, 14. So back then it's completely different.
How like have your family supported you, in your journey within the game?
Oh, that's a good question for me, because my dad is super involved. For me, I started playing football when I was 9. I was lucky enough to be in the cohort that I think men's teams got money or funding for setting up a women's team or a girls team. So I think I started playing under 9s, and they had no one to coach it. So my dad stepped up and coached me for a good 2-3 years, I think. So he was vital in like sort of my development and my love of the game. And it was quite nice because I still got to, do that father-daughter thing, and it was something that he enjoyed as well. He used to take me to Millwall. My mum used to take me to Chelsea. So that was quite nice. My mum was always there watching, normally the loudest one in the crowd. And that hasn't really changed from day one, really. So I've been quite lucky to have that consistency from my upbringing. Even when I moved away from the original club, went to Crystal Palace and then Charlton, they were always there on the sidelines. And it's done full circle now because my dad now is ball boy.
He's a gopher.
Yeah, he's a gopher for Welling United. So and he's got all the gear as well. So he's more than happy.
What makes Welling United ladies different from other ladies teams?
Well, I guess it was almost self-founded for Emily's point of view. She was part of the. I don't want to speak for you, but I guess she was part of setting it up. So that's one thing. We've both been there from the start, and we're probably one of or two of 4 or 5 people out of the 30 players that we've got that have been there from the start. So I think that holds something special for both of us.
I think that sort of encompasses like the whole team. You know, like there's a lot of passion there because we have been there for a long time, and I think that then feeds into the wider team. Even people that have just joined us this season, it's like they've been there since the first day we started, because straight away they're you know, we're one team.
And I think just to elaborate on that, I think everyone at the team plays their own part in trying to make it a success, and that's not just winning games week in, week out. It's anything from social media, it's anything from going out and doing these sorts of things, or going to the business club at Welling on a Wednesday night, just promoting the women's team, trying to get sponsorship, physiotherapy. Some of the girls are physios. They did a physio for us. It's sort of like it's sort of one family.
Everyone's got their role.
Yeah, everyone's got a role to play.
And I was actually having a conversation with someone today, and you know, I think what you find quite often in larger groups and larger teams is that there is rifts within the groups and the social circles. And what's really nice is that we don't have that at all. You know, like we do have people that are 16 and we have people that are 40, and there's literally no different, and they get on exactly like everyone does. And like Han said, there's roles and everyone has one. And I think
it varies a lot as well. Like you've got one of the girls that coaches some of the under 11 girls well in teams, so there's a constant connection as well, not just between us. It's linking into other parts of the club as well.
Yeah, I think what you find with teams at this level is that everyone has to chip in to make it work. And we've definitely nailed that, I think, because everyone definitely does their bit to make sure that we stay afloat. We can perform, most importantly, on a Sunday.
Emily, you've I heard an interview that you did that coaching. Well, you know, after you finished playing, coaching is something that you didn't really want to do. Can I ask why?
You know what? I don't know if I've done full circle on that. Maybe. I think when I was a little bit younger, I went to college and done a sports coaching course, and then I went to university and done PE teaching and sports coaching. So that's what I was educated on, and was I suppose, what I was beelining for a career. And I'm not sure if that put me off slightly, actually. I don't know if I was too young at the time to go straight into a career within that sort of position. I feel a lot more equipped now, the older I am, to be able to share my knowledge and direct younger players. So actually, I do think that maybe it would be something I would consider in the future when I can no longer play. Which I don't know how it's going to be.
And Hannah, have you kind of thought about your kind of career outside of football once you retire?
Well, I guess I did retire once, and then I missed it too much and came back. So I've probably not got long left in me, to be honest, and I don't know where it'll take me. But I guess being involved in different aspects now, like I pick up the women's match day sort of secretary role. So you never know where that leads to. Now getting involved in some of the women business club at the club.
We're lucky enough to be on the board.
Yeah,
we're
on the board as well, so we represent the women in that aspect as well. So we have a bit of a voice up there, trying to make a difference. But coaching's not for me, I don't think. No,
I think going back to the coaching side, I think what's changed that for me is my confidence was probably quite low when I played before. So I went from Charlton under 18s to playing in their reserve team, went away to university for a little while, come back and played for Gillingham first team. I was there for a good 3-4 years. And although I was making the team, I was playing week in, week out, I never really felt confident, I don't think. Maybe that was to do with age, I don't know. But obviously starting this team up from scratch and it being a slightly lower level, that has given me a bit of confidence to, I don't know, grow as a player. I think technically, but also like as a whole. And I see it more now as a package. And being like the captain of the team at the moment, that's allowed me to explore, like, I suppose the leadership, the communication on and off the pitch. So I feel like those skills have probably allowed me to, and would allow me to explore the coaching world a little bit easier and better now.
And please educate me on this. I know there's a huge push now regarding mental health, especially in the men's game. How is it in the ladies' game? I mean, is it kind of something that you guys talk about? Do you have people that you can speak to? What's the process?
I think we're lucky enough, if you compare it directly to the men's game, that women tend to be, some of us, a little bit more open with our emotions than men potentially. You know, you've got the drive for men to talk, and it's okay to talk. Obviously, that is across the spectrum of both female and males. But I think as a network and a group, we probably support each other a little bit more than the men's side. You know, everyone's hormonal and up and down, and I think we understand that quite a lot. So we're there for each other, whether it's me, whether it's someone else who you're closer to on the team. I think we talk quite a lot in terms of how we're feeling, if you're struggling that week and why. So I think it is spoken about a lot more. But the support in terms of professional support, I don't think is there. As maybe you would a men's team at this level.
I just to add to that, and I think in the women's game, I think people are a lot more open. You can be who you want and whatever you want, whether that's, you know, I don't know, whatever your background is, it doesn't matter in the women's game. You can be who you want in the changing room, where there's probably a little bit of stigma around the men's game, and in the changing room, you probably can't necessarily be who you want to be. And that sort of stuff. So I think in terms of the mental health aspects, I think as a team, our team, we're quite open.
But on the flip side of that, I also do feel like the pressure sometimes of I don't know, trying to at the higher levels, I suppose, where you're not supported in a way that maybe you would be at a high level men's team. The pressure is quite a lot and can be quite damaging. I think the team is supportive, but maybe the staff availability isn't as much.
Who's the showstopper in your team, and why?
Should we say on three?
Go on then.
In terms of showstopper, what's your definition of showstopper?
Someone that's, you know, gonna get me out of my seat. Someone that's gonna kind of rally up the crowds. Someone that's full of energy.
Okay, I got it.
All right.
On three?
Go on then.
1, 2, 3.
Liv.
Oh, I thought we were the same person.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Go on, you know yours.
No, I agree, Liv.
He's copying me now. Who was you going to say?
I was going to say Lily Maple.
Yeah.
Wait till she hears that. Wait till she hears that.
No, but Liv is there more often than Lily at the moment.
It's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Why would you say Lily?
Lily's a great player.
Yeah, of course she is. We're all great players.
You're going to have to edit this out.
I'm keeping this exactly how it is. This is
Liv is a showstopper. She absolutely rattles people week in, week out. She's 100% someone you'd have in your team.
I can't believe you didn't say Liv straight away. Like, she'd be the person who would be like, go in, absolutely clatter someone with a tackle like up high up the pitch, get everyone else going, and then like you've just got to look at the facials in some of the pictures. But when we score, she'll like proper give it some.
I was going to say something, but I won't embarrass her if she hears this.
But yeah, no, great player. Yeah, gets us all going as well.
She's another one that's been with us since the start. One of the OGs.
You guys mentioned briefly about Keith and his influence. Could you kind of talk more about Keith's knowledge and actually what he's brought to Welling?
Yeah, so Keith's been up with us probably since July. So he was out for work. Dropped him a message, said, "Do you fancy it?" Because I'd worked with Keith a long time ago, knew what he was about. Just on the off chance, he just thought, "Oh, you never know." And he was like, "Yeah, all right, I'll come and have a chat with who I need to have a chat with."
We couldn't believe it, could we?
No, we was like, "Oh my god, like he's actually we thought it was a complete long shot. We thought he was gonna have to go and find another club to go and play for." But no, Keith come and saved the day, and yeah, he's just completely transformed the team. He's brought in some really good coaches with him. Kim, Munir, Jeff, who's our strength and conditioning coach. Yeah, I mean, he's just got us playing together now, and just brought a completely different dynamic and an element of seriousness as well. And he'll be the first to tell you he's not keen on the social side of things at our level. But he set out his stall from the start to the girls, and yeah, no one's ever looked back.
Yeah, he's really brought that sense of like professionalism, hasn't he? To
no mucking about,
yeah, no messing.
And when you said the social side, what, as in like social media side, or just like the kind of drinking and?
I mean, you know, at our level, it can be seen as you turn up, you have a kickabout, and you know, you go home, you have a beer, you turn up Sunday, you don't look the part.
You've gone out the night before.
Yeah, and it's all just for fun, really. But you know, he's all about you turn up to training before you're meant to be there. Like, you know, the start time's 8:30, but you actually should get there at 8, and you're ready to go, boots on straight away. You know, you train hard, you work hard, you do your stuff off the pitch, you're doing your analysis every week, you send them your post-match evaluations, all that sort of stuff. It's constant. But yeah, it gets us moving in the right direction, for sure.
But yeah, it makes you think about not why you're doing it, but you know, where you want to get to. And yes, we're playing at a low level, but we all want to win, and so does he. And you know, that's only possible by putting in the effort that we do. It's so easy, isn't it, to take it lightly. But yeah, he's definitely not about that.
We want to be a club that's competing at a decent standard, and we want to get promotion if it's mathematically possible this season. But if we don't, definitely next season we want to be getting promoted, and you know, we want to be winning trophies and earning ourselves a bit of money out of competitions and stuff like that. So you can only do that if you're serious about it. And that comes from the manager, it comes from the players. So him instilling that into us, it has to happen, really.
Yeah, but that doesn't take away from actually us socialising, you know.
No.
So we're all still like a really tight-knit group, and we do socialise outside of football. Like, for example, we've got like a code of conduct thing that, you know, we all have to stay for an hour or for one drink, whether it's a soft drink or not, after the game, to make sure that we are socialising and, you know, putting money behind the bar and things like that. So he's still keen for all of that stuff, but it's, you know, the professionalism of it.
And like, how has like the kind of age of social media either helped or literally hindered like you footballers personally and also the club?
I don't think it's affected me personally. I don't think it's been a good or bad thing for me, to be honest.
I mean, we're quite lucky in terms of one of our players does our social media. So we've got Grace Laverick, who joined us, I think, a few months into our first season. She's been a great addition to the team. And like I say, another cog in the wheel. She does all of our social media alongside now the men's social media manager. So all of that is aligned now. It took us a little while to get that underway. Before it was just her, which was quite tricky. So we probably wasn't getting the coverage that we wanted. But yeah, that's all aligned now, and she's doing a really great job alongside him with that. So that's really helping us with our sales for supporters and fans to come and watch us. Our most recent game, we had a record number of supporters, and that's because we sold tickets online. And that was obviously then boosted with our social media as well. We also use social media to try and find sponsors. So what we decided to do at the beginning of this season was for every player to get a sponsor, and that would the money would go towards the day-to-day running of the women's club, but also like kits and things as well. So I think we've done quite well. We managed to get 15 players sponsored, and that was pretty much all through who you know and social media. So it's been good for us.
How would you describe your style of play in one word? And again, why should people come and watch Welling United ladies?
Style of play, personal or team?
I think the team.
The team.
One word. You're good at this sort of thing, not me. I'm a whistler.
One word. Oh God, I don't want to get it wrong because if Keith watches, he'll be like, "No, that's not right." Refer to one of the files I sent you. God, you really put us on the spot. Our style of play: take no chances.
Take no chances. Okay, he does say that quite a lot.
What if?
What if?
Always remember the what ifs.
Always remember. Keith's got quite a few of, non-negotiables when it comes to how we play.
Or take your chances.
No, I wouldn't say that was one. I actually don't know. Same quotes. Yeah, our style of play. I don't know. But why people should come and watch us? I think
fluid keeps coming to mind, but
okay.
I don't know if are we fluid yet? We're trying to be fluid.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I think I mean we're all very passionate, and we put up a good fight. So that's what you get from coming, and also like a community thing. Like for example, we had a few mascots on Sunday. They came and warmed up with us. So I'd love to get some more girls that are playing football locally to come and join us for some support. They can come out on the pitch, be mascots with the players and do a warm up with us. That's what the aim is, and that's what the next steps are for us to really make sure that we're spreading and inspiring the younger generation, really.
Okay. I'm gonna say something. So my eldest daughter, I only realized maybe about a month ago that she's into football. I swear down to you.
How old is she?
She's 11.
Okay.
And she played a game today, and I watched her play, and she's pretty tough. Yeah, she's pretty tough. So I'm gonna bring her down to a game, and let's see if she can be one of the mascots.
26th of March is a game to come to. No, we're playing Ashford at home on the 26th of March.
26th of March.
And that's going to be a game to watch. That's going to be a pure battle, that one.
Thank you so much for coming on. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you on another show.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thanks for having us.
Bye.